skipped some major happenings that have been...
No, we're done. I'm not answering 17,000 consecutive questions. I don't care if it's how things are done at the college football level. This is our own press conferences. I get paid like $3 a year and Taco Bell gift certificates, so I don't want to hear it. But I'll quickly go over everything. As you know, off-season time, Loren Davis entered the transfer portal. He is now at Coastal Carolina University. His mom is happy about it. And on her tweet that she sent, basically, she can go to hell. That lady is trash. It's a shame because Lauren's a nice kid, just went through a rough patch, but his mom is just such a... Like, she just needs to jump onto the nearest highway and, play a game of Frogger or something. Also, Carlos Jackson is going to be redshirted this year, as I'm sure you all are aware. He's got a personal issue going on, and we just thought it was best he take a step away from football for the year. So in terms of backup quarterbacks, I assume you guys know about Pete Edwards, JUCO transfer. And we got Dante that also had a redshirt year, so he's going to be our QB3 if he needs to step in. We lost Marcus Hopkins, that's a big piece, Jerry Turner, and we also signed Jamarcus Rushing, who will be our nickel corner, and it's going to be key. A lot of guys got a lot of experience in the secondary last year, so I feel like we're going to be a little bit better position. And Ethan Riley will be moving into the slot. I just figured everyone should know Jovan Austin and Jason Sanchez will man receiver 1 and 2. It's going to be a great year. We're going for the Sun Belt Championship this year. That's really all there is to it. Last year was great. I'm happy we got a bowl victory and beat a top 25 team, but anything less than a Sun Belt Championship this year, and I'm not happy. And the team won't be happy either. So that's our main goal. I'll send you guys over to Coach Lewis. I believe he's at a Waffle House right now, and he'll be hitting up the Golden Corral buffet later, so he's not actually here in person. So thank you, everybody. Enjoy your time in life.
Coach, your first season ends in a bowl victory. With all the drama and sanctions going around with the team, how did it feel to watch your guys not get distracted and pull off a nice win?
It felt good, Our guys were able to stay focused and not let any of the offense's drama get in the way of our defensive practices. We worked hard all year, and it culminated in those defensive plays that you've seen in the bowl game when it really mattered. Defense wins championships. That's a well-known fact. And with the additional guys that we got this offseason, I think we'll be able to make the jump from a good defense to an elite defense.
Also, next year's schedule is out. How do you feel about going to Washington to play your other son, Jeremiah Lewis?
It feels amazing, as a father, just to see your kids succeed, and do what they want to do what makes them happy, And these guys, it's nothing new for them. They've been competing since a young age. Who can eat the most hot dogs? Who can get the most girls? So this is just the next level of competition in their lives, and this is the beginning of a great rivalry.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Marshall Football Walk-On Dynasty. This is going to be the off-season for Season 3. Obviously, we went 8-5. Go back and watch if you missed any of the games. It was a shit fest, but it was also a good time. In terms of players leaving, we're going to lose Marcus Hopkins, who was our starting corner this year. Jerry Turner will be sliding into his spot, and the young guns are going to have to step up. J.D. Mosley, another JUCO tackle. He was very instrumental for us. It sucks to lose these two guys. Mosley had a very good career. Just a little look-see at his stats. He did give up some sacks, but 3 in 2 years isn't anything scary. Solid player. Can't ask for much more. Kept his head down. Marcus Hopkins will finish with an 80 overall. He was very solid. He didn't break out as much as I thought he would, but still a good kid. Finishes his career with 81 tackles, 2 interceptions, 3 pass deflections, and a fumble recovery. Like I said, he was... I would just say he was solid. He was not a god by any means, but you can't go wrong. I mean, there's plenty of teams that would love to have him. And Greg Lewis, one of the walk-ons, was kind of a rotational guy, a backup guy. 15 tackles in 3 years. Like I said, he played very sparingly, but 2 TFLs. Don't really got much to say about him. For a walk-on, we're proud of him to be on the team making some plays. We got 2 people wanting to transfer in, Steve Vaughn and Chris Bryant. These guys are not world killers by any means, but we'll take them in just because, it's one big happy family, I suppose. Alright, so our recruiting process. Our class is now finished up. We signed my nephew. Now, it's a good thing he did sign here because we're going to get him an awesome tutoring program. He's a little bit slow, so if he went to any other school, it would have been a bad time for him. We'll probably have like Forrest Gump come in and, tutor him in all his classes. We're going to get him into life skills and just see what he's made of, But we're going to definitely have to start from the ground up, teach him how to read and get that all done with, and then we'll be fine. And we also signed punter Chris Denman. This man will probably be our punter of the future. Although our kickers can probably handle the punting, so we might redshirt him just to get him to be where he's a god. But yeah, I'll scroll down. Here's a look at our class. It's a pretty solid group of young men in here. Actually, now that I think about it, we might have Robert Lee tutor Matthew. He's probably going to be a good influence on it. So we signed 21 prospects. I'm definitely happy with that effort. We got 3 athletes we need to do for position changes. Robert Lee, I've actually been thinking long and hard about this. It's an interesting decision. He's a JUCO junior. I was thinking about wide receiver, but I think we're actually going to go with running back. Now, hear me out. He's got decent speed, and here's the thing. Jampy needs a solid backup. The walk-ons are, good kids, and I love them. But I think Robert Lee really helps us out at running back, and if we need him, he can be a receiving running back, and we can switch him if we need. Now, Jamarcus Rushing could slide into the receiver spot, and he could play quarterback. So I think with the departure of Marcus Hopkins, we're going to switch him to corner. It gives us another solid piece. He's not a great corner, but he is at least respectable. Tyler Mills, he's another one who's a big guy. He's got no speed, so he's either on the D line or the O line. And I think center is going to be a good spot for him. We could probably move him around to different positions, so that's the way it's going to be. He's got to be on the O line. He's got very solid blocking, and he is a freshman athlete. We got some training results. Seth Jones is going to go up to an 80 overall. His awareness is all the way up to 95. He got +4 to accuracy. Loren Davis is going to be transferring, but that'll be later in the video. That transfer running back we got went up to a 75 +7. Jeez Louise, he might be a god by the time he gets in. But Jampy is going to go up to an 81 for his junior season. Don Wilson's going to go up +4. The receiving core we got right now, Jovan up to an 82. Good to see everyone putting in some solid work. Randall's going to go up to a 71. He's kind of had a slow progression, even though he's a beast. Johnny Scott goes up to a 77. Sean Bailey will get +6. DT, MJ Cunningham putting in that work as well. Chris Banks will be a 73. Stanford Chase is going to go up to an 85 overall as a junior, +6. Pat Williams and Alex Neal, the walk-on, he just had a redshirt year. Reynolds, 65. Cornerback Jerry Turner gets a +4. I thought he was going to get more, but it's okay. Good to see all the young guns getting up into the 70s at least. I think that's going to be huge for us. Nathan Stewart had a pretty solid year. Rayshawn Lewis is going to go up to a 73, a +5. Scotty Watkins, junior year, going up to a 78 +5er. His zone's looking very solid as his career goes on, 83. George Smith, been a fantastic kicker for us, up to 83. In terms of redshirting, Carson McDowell, Huntington kid, we're going to give him a red shirt just to give him a faster development. So by the time he gets in, he'll have a chance to compete. Pete Edwards, I think, is going to be our backup quarterback for the year. He's a JUCO, so going to go ahead and give him that red shirt, let him get developed, get into the system. Carlos Jackson is also going to get a redshirt year, his senior year. Obviously, very interesting. But we got to get him his rehab. His coke addiction is no joke. So we're going to give him the year off. And we're going to let Jovan Austin and Jason Sanchez and Ethan Riley kind of be the lead receivers and do their thing. I will show the recruiting progress probably in episode 2 maybe, just because we'll have some movement by then. Going to be the starting quarterback, 80 overall, looking really good as a junior. Pete Edwards, the JUCO, is going to be our backup. We'll probably have a storyline for him as the season goes on. Jampy, obviously, and Robert Lee is going to be our backup running back. Definitely want to get him involved as a very solid athlete prospect. Don Wilson and Todd Daniel holding it down at fullback. So we got Jovan Austin, Jason Sanchez, who had very good years. Ethan Riley slides into the slot. Newcomer Matthew Marshall will be our number 4 receiver, and Robbie Rogers will be in at number 5, and Robert Lee will stack in at 6. Robbie Rogers, one of the few walk-ons left
out here fighting, but he's a good player, so he deserves that 5 spot. Vince Randall, of course, starting tight end. Left tackle will be Daniel Seamer. Coach Lewis has already got him on the fast food diet. He's been stuffing his face with all the usual suspects and washing it down with various kinds of alcohol, so his stamina is about 35. But briefly, we'll go over the O-line. I'll just kind of go through it. Chris Banks, obviously starting. At left guard, Ben Gibson and Robinson will probably be backing up quite a few positions. Bailey and Mills, the athlete, I think he deserves that backup spot, even though we got guys better. I think we definitely want to try to get him and groom him to be our next starter. Right guard will be Travis Patterson, and Woodard also, I believe, has earned this right to be the backup, and Keith Cooper and friends. Right end will be Johnny Scott, hell of a player. Defensive tackle, it's the usuals. Sean Bailey, MJ Cunningham, Wynn and Johnson backups. Chris Banks and Derek Bailey at left linebacker. Stanford Chase, obviously the All-American, our best player. Pat Williams at right linebacker, and the newcomer Brent Taylor. Cornerback, Jerry Turner slides into the 1 spot. Nathan Stewart moves from 3 to 2, and Jamarcus Rushing, the athlete, will fit in at slot corner. Harvey and Hall at the tail end. Free safety will be Rayshawn and Jamarcus backing up. And Scotty Watkins, obviously at strong safety. Rushing is going to be nickel corner and backing up a few positions. Kicker will be George Smith. Punter, Chris Denman. And our returners will be Jerry Turner and Donald Harvey, the corner. And last but not least, here is our schedule for the year. We're starting off at number 8, Washington. This is a big game for us because we're going to be going up against Jeremiah Lewis, a guy we highly recruited at safety, one of Coach Lewis's 17,000 offspring he has running around. And he is going to be the starting free safety, so it's going to be a big-time matchup, a top 10 deal. We want to win this one. Also got number 20, Texas A&M. Hopefully they're ranked when we get there. And another big matchup for us, Coastal Carolina. They won the Sun Belt last year. And our former starting quarterback, Loren Davis, transferred, and he will be the starting quarterback for the Coastal Carolina, whatever that thing is in the top left. I hate him. I hate that stupid bird. And that's what we're looking at. Starting quarterback, Loren Davis, I just wanted to show you guys him. He is now a Coastal Carolina Trader. He really fell apart for us in his sophomore year, and Seth Jones just took off with the job. Also, Loren Davis's mother pretty much told me to go myself. She was tweeting, going absolutely berserk on Twitter that her son deserves to start, so he's going to go start at Coastal, and we're going to try to make his life a living hell once we fight against those douchebags. But yeah, Coastal can keep Loren and his mom. He's a good kid, but his mom just is a loudmouth. Pretty much a Karen, so that'll do it. But yeah, that is going to do it for this episode. I'm going to take care of some more little behind the scenes things, get the season started, and I'll see you guys on the season 4 premiere against number 8 Washington.